Hi everyone, welcome to another segment on elasticity. This is the last one, and here today we're going to talk about cross-price elasticity. So intuitively, hopefully, once we're done, you'll understand what we mean by cross-price, and that means we're referring to the change in quantity demanded of one product due to the change in the price of another. So we talked about substitutes and complements, and that's what exactly this will show. But here's my 30-second switch that I did for all of them about taking normal price elasticity and turning it into cross price elasticity. So this is normal price elasticity, E sub P, QD2 minus QD1 over average quantity, that's the percentage change in quantity, divided by P2 minus P1 over average price. That's the percentage change in price. So that's our normal elasticity. So just to show you that this isn't all that much different, we just have to remember it's always the responsiveness of something due to something else. This case, it's the responsiveness of the quantity demanded of A due to a price change of B. So I'm going to erase a few. Well, actually, I'm just erasing one. And we'll quickly, hopefully with inside the 30 seconds. So this is now going to be the cross price elasticity AB. So it's the change in the quantity demanded of A. There's QD2A over QD1A over the average, QD2A, QD1A divided by 2. Okay, but it's due to the change in the price, not of A, but the price of something else. So the price of B. P2B minus P1B divided by the average price of P2B plus P1B divided by 2. So that's my cross price elasticity formula. You can find all of these, of course, in the formula sheet in D2L. So by now, please make sure you know where that's located and have it at your fingertips. It'll make all this stuff a lot easier. So of course, we weren't going to just leave you with that. We're going to look directly at the slides. So here's the formula. Responsiveness of the change in quantity demanded of product A to a change in the price of product B. So here's the percentage change in quantity demanded of product A. I just wanted to do the A's now so you see it's very similar to all elasticities, but it's due to the percentage change in the price of B, a different product. B, B, and B. So this is the working formula, the one that's scribbled on there in my handwriting, but you can use the other ones too if you're given the percentage changes. So let's take a look at an example here. Here we've got margarine and butter, and I'm going to label it at first, and later you should figure out how to tell which one's price is changing and which one's quantity is changing. In fact, if you look right now, price here stays the same for butter. Here, margarine price changes. So margarine is going to be B in our example. So it's the change in quantity demanded of good A due to a change in the price of good B. Okay, so let's put this through. Calculating cross price elasticity of margarine and butter, it's the percentage change of quantity A due to the percentage change price B. Notice they've got a mistake, percentage change of price B, but we're smart enough to catch it. So you go through and you take, well, the change in quantity of A, which one's A again? Butter. Well, that's 2,000 minus 1,000. So there we go. Over the average quantity, 2,000 plus 1,000 divided by 2 is 1,500. So if you're not convinced, click one slide back, plug the numbers in the formula for yourself. But then we need to know the change in the price of B over the average price of B. Not A, notice A's prices don't change anyway, B. And we also have to know row 1 and row 2 for sure. So I'll start with the second row, 210 minus 150, that's 0.6 over the average price of B, 210 plus 150 divided by 2, and that's 1.8. So I'm just going to back up. As soon as we see that this is plus 2, we'll come back to that right away. But remember, for these, the sign matters. So this is row 2 numbers, and this is row 1 numbers. If you always do it that way, or you can switch, you just have to be consistent. Which one's going to be your first row, which one's going to be your second row, because the sign matters. Here's the sign, it's a plus, +2. So let's go take a look at what that means. The next slide will summarize whether it's positive or negative and what that means. But for here, I want you to think intuitively. That means it's a positive relationship. So if the price of the B product goes up, the quantity demanded of the A product will go up because it's a positive relationship. So in this case, if the price of B, which happens to be margarine, goes up, then the quantity demanded of butter will go up because some people think they're substitutes and you can switch between them. So if margarine becomes more expensive, people will buy more butter. So when it's plus, those are substitutes. So let's take a look at how they define it all out for us here on the next slide. You can see they're saying if the coefficient turns out to be positive, a plus sign, then they're substitutes. Just like butter and margarine were. If the price of one of them went up, the quantity demanded of the other goes up. Positive relationship, so they're substitutes. If you get a negative coefficient, when you do this, if you get a negative coefficient, they're complements. It means if the price of one thing goes up, the quantity demanded of the other will go down because you won't buy as much of both products. So think of an example here, and I don't want you to ever use this example on exams. Think of a different one, but think of skis and ski boots. They're by and large bought together. I mean, very often when you go into the secondary market, not so much, but you think of new skiers, usually buy skis and ski boots together. So we'd say they were complements. So it should have a negative cross elasticity. And just intuitively think about it. If the price of skis goes way up, people are going to buy less skis. So the price of skis went up, they'll buy less skis, but they'll buy less ski boots as well. So the demand for ski boots goes down. So if the price of skis goes up here, the demand for ski boots goes down. That's a negative relationship. And it's because they use the two together, they're complements. What about skis and snowboards? Again, don't ever use this example on an exam. You have to think of your own. Skis and snowboards. Well, if the price of skis goes up, people will probably buy more snowboards. Right? Especially the younger generation, not old dogs like me that only downhill skis with two long skinny skis. I don't know how to snowboard and I never will. But for a lot of people that are quite a bit younger than me, skis, snowboards, if skis were to double in price because of manufacturing problems, people would buy less skis normally, naturally, but then they'd buy more snowboards. So the quantity demanded of snowboards would go up, and that's a positive relationship. Price of skis goes up, quantity demanded of snowboards goes up. Those are substitutes. Okay, so make sure that you can see that. The positive and negative relationship when you calculate elasticity, what does it mean? Let's look at a nice summary slide of all elasticities. So we're going to do that on the next slide right now. And it includes all elasticities, not just cross elasticity. So you can see here, for price elasticity of demand and supply, for demand, you ignore the negative. So we're always looking between 0 and 1. And we say that's inelastic demand and inelastic supply. And then greater than 1, we say it's elastic demand and elastic supply, very responsive to changes in price. Then we put on a different thinking hat and we focus on income elasticity. We're going to look at changes in demand due to changes in income, but prices stay the same. So we said if that was negative elasticity, those were inferior goods. So our income would go up and we buy less of these products: Kraft dinner, ramen noodles, hot dogs. If income elasticity is positive, we see those are normal goods. We get more income, we're going to buy more of these goods. If we don't buy very much more of the goods, it's inelastic or necessities. So elasticity is between 0 and 1. But if income elasticity is greater than 1, we say, well, that's elastic, income elastic, and they're luxuries. So things like recreation homes, luxury vehicles, things like that, where the percentage change in income is a certain amount, and you end up taking out of your savings and spending even more than that, your percentage change in purchases of luxuries. So that explains the income elasticity side. And now let's look at the cross elasticity side. So that's the change in demand of one product due to a change in the price of another product. And if the products are substitutes to each other, so like skis and snowboards, if the price of skis goes up, people will buy less skis, but they'll buy more snowboards. So that's a positive elasticity. Price of skis goes up, quantity demanded of snowboards goes up. That's a positive relationship. And then on the negative side, we say they're complements. They're products that are used together, like skis and ski boots. So if the price of skis goes way up, yeah, people will buy less skis, but they'll also buy less ski boots. So that's a negative elasticity. Price of one went up, the quantity demanded of the other goes down. So that explains the signage, the plus and minuses for income elasticity and cross elasticity, and defines the types of products all on this nice slide. I'd print this one off and stick it in your mirror somewhere or on your desk so you can see until it really sinks in the relationship between all these things. Remember to do the math correctly and watch the sign of your answer. It'll tell you what it is. So that's it for elasticities in this chapter. We're going to go on to the next chapter shortly and the next segment, and we'll see you when we get there.